After petitioning to divinely intervene in the Navy SEAL litigation on the vaccines, we had begun a Top Gun themed video series, but then took that awkward turn in Dealey Plaza after a vaccine motorcade rolling down Houston decided to speed up and enter the danger zone. And so, continuing on the Oliver Stone JFK motif, setting the narrative at the Texas Book Depository scene with Jim Garrison, played by the actor Kevin Costner, and his assistant, played by Michael Rooker. We're going to continue using the turkey shoot scenario of triangulated fires that were introduced in that summer blockbuster film for the first time to describe the current status of our vaccines mandate litigation. And like the JFK files, that one New Orleans prosecutor in his mid-40s believed he would have to wait for his son to see when they were finally declassified. For the next few moments, we are going to continue developing what is currently available in the open source, just for those with, as they say, a need to know. Hello, my name is Major Mike Webb, a retired Army Ranger, and a former biological warfare planner. Most recently described in one Texas court where I have decided to finally intervene in Navy SEALs litigation as a litigation hobbyist, a term I actually don't mind, and in politics I've most certainly been called far worse. But never late for dinner. In the last video installment, we had described the White House decision after March 23rd, 2021 to take a motorcade cruising down Houston and speed up, proceeding down to that awkward turn on Dealey Plaza, where at least some suggest there is evidence that not just a lone gunman, but a professional team of snipers and fighters were laying in wait at an area of triangulated fires, an objective sought during a planned military ambush to destroy, not just defeat or trick the enemy. Terms you'll see in an op order to engagement of enfilade fires from a position of superior advantage. And this is exactly where our litigation stands today as a result of standard tactics of fire and maneuver and a movement to contact. Very, very different from a dogfight. And on the ground, close quarter combat is the rule. In the air with jet fighters, supersonic speed, swept wing, they like to be a little bit further away than even in the movies. But for a good analogy, you can just imagine having that little buzzing sound as you put somebody inside that missile lock. That's what we try to achieve on the ground. So let's take a few minutes to break the situation map, shall we? If we can put you in a box, you're already dead. So think outside the box, who? Fixed bayonets. Movement of contact is achieved through fire and maneuver. During phase 1 on March 23rd, 2021, Team 1 moved into a steady position, launching one FOIA request directed to the White House, where under Executive Order 12958, the President is the ultimate original classification authority, nothing higher, to request any and all documents pertaining to the personnel security classification of the infectious dose and secondary attack rate for COVID-19. And advising the White House at that time that the requester was fully aware that if such standard metrics were deemed to be classified, it would of necessity mean by operation of law that the biological causative agent for COVID-19 was the property of the United States government and would of necessity have to have been cultivated or manipulated in a laboratory, not naturally occurring. The White House immediately acknowledged receipt and thereafter elected a dubious right to engage in radio silence, the old silence treatment. On April 20, 2021, the deadline for a response expired, and on July 7, 2021, following the celebration of Independence Day, by which time the President had hoped to have achieved what he described as a 70% herd immunity in its American Rescue Plan address delivered from the White House on the first anniversary of the pandemic declaration, Team 1, in a movement to contact, proceeded in an action that was filed in the U.S. District Court in Richmond to enjoin the White House from withholding this information as authorized expressly under the FOIA provisions. The court refused to issue a summons or docket any matters for the hearing, and on October 29, 2021, the same day the intelligence community had released the declassified report on COVID-19 origins sought in May, the complaint was dismissed without prejudice against refiling by the federal court, permitting Team 1 to continue a movement to contact, filing an appeal with the Fourth Circuit, and simultaneously an application for prejudgment on the shadow docket at the U.S. Supreme Court in December 2021. Even though the White House refused to issue any reply, on March 7, 2022, the Supreme Court, Justice Alito abstaining, remitted the matter to the Fourth Circuit in lieu of proceeding to oral argument, transforming a presumptive claim of executive privilege, which can only be used for matters of national security, to a presumptive official position of the United States government that it could neither confirm nor deny that the secondary attack rate and infectious dose were classified information. And on April 20th, 2022, the Fourth Circuit, with no reply from the White House, affirmed the dismissal without prejudice that had been entered by the District Court in October. Team 1 was now fully in position to file an appeal to the United States Supreme Court regarding the attempt by the District Court to quash the case. Under Marbury v. Madison, it is the emphatic duty and province of the Judiciary Department to say what the law is. Immediately after the March 25th decision by the Supreme Court, U.S. Navy SEALs 126 v. Biden, Phase 2 commenced, and Team 2 moved into position seeking leave of court to intervene in that action, seeking declaratory relief, compelling a declaration that the infectious dose and secondary attack rate were indeed classified information, setting up a facial challenge to declare the DoD vaccines mandates unconstitutional. The matter was not docketed until May 2nd, and both the defendants and plaintiffs objected. On May 23rd, the court denied leave to intervene and seek declaratory relief. Team 2 was now in a position to be granted leave or appeal to the Fifth Circuit. June 1st marked the commencement of Phase 3, and pursuant to the dismissal order affirmed by the Fourth Circuit, Team 3 moved into position, filing a new complaint to seek injunctive relief from the White House withholding the information regarding the classification of the infectious dose and secondary attack rate of COVID-19, which could only be classified if the government owned a novel coronavirus, perfecting a three-pronged attack to compel the government admission that it does, in fact, own the causative biological agent for COVID-19. Practically requires fixed on the objective. Think outside the box. If they can put you in a box, you're already dead. And Maverick, you're dangerous. This advertisement was authorized by Mike Webb.